Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to have you here today for part 3 of building my 80s Dream Machine guitar series. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon so you don't miss any future updates, and of course leave a like if you enjoy these build videos. It really helps out the channel a lot. So, what's on the agenda today? Well, after the first test assembly of the guitar, I realized that the pickguard doesn't quite fit under the fretboard extension. So it's not a huge deal, but it's something we need to fix to make everything line up perfectly. And today I will be taking some precise measurements and then carefully routing the pickguard so it fits flush around the fretboard extension. After that, we'll do a rough setup of the guitar, adjust the action, and checking if I need to either deepen the neck pocket or maybe even add a shim if the neck sits too low. And finally, I'll be doing a test fit of some pickups and just to check if the pickguard has the right string spacing to see if everything fits nicely into the cavities and make sure that the electronics compartment has enough room. And to wrap things up today, I will apply the very first coats of a wipe on poly finish to pop out that beautiful walnut grain and start giving this build the classic Dream Machine vibe. Okay, so right now I'm checking the gap between the fretboard extension and the body. Um, And of course, I will measure the thickness of the pickguard I'm using. First, I wanted to shim the neck, but then I have decided it is better to make some modifications to the pickguard and to make it fit perfectly. Also, the bridge which I'm using is not allowing any shim because the geometry is really spot on, and a shim would just ruin the geometry of the guitar. The pickguard is 2.5 millimeters thick, and the gap between the body and the fretboard extension is 2.2 millimeters. So I've decided to take a Sharpie and just to mark out the mm, material which I have to route off, or mm, I have used a Dremel tool for that, which you will see in a minute. Here I'm positioning the bridge just to have the right space between the fretboard, the pickguard, and the bridge, of course. Now I'm outlining the bridge, sorry, the pickguard and the fretboard extension. And this is the excess which must be removed. Okay, this is my Dremel with a little sanding drum attachment. And I'm just carefully removing all the extended material which is not necessary. And using some sandpaper and some files and rasps to smooth the edge out. Okay. This is done and the pickguard now fits perfectly. So I'm attaching the neck and test fitting the pickguard once again, and it sits really nice around the fretboard extension. Okay, here I'm fitting some test pickups. These are just some random uh, single coil pickups which I have had laying around. And this is just for the purpose to check the string alignment and if everything fits in the cavities and in the electronics compartment, which it does. And you can see the string alignment and the string spacing is really spot on. And so we're going to the next part, which is applying a wipe on poly finish. And maybe you're asking, why are you using a wipe on poly? First of all, I don't have any spray equipment or compressors. I have a little small airbrush compressor and I have done some spraying with it, but in my environment, the best way to achieve a really nice glossy finish is using a wipe on poly. And I have tried many other things like true oil or whatever, and this wipe on poly stuff is really the best. And it's an oil-based poly finish, and I like it more than the water-based because it pops more the grain, the beautiful walnut grain, and it would not pop out so much with a water-based polyurethane. So this oil-based wipe on poly is really forgiving. You just take some rag and you just put it on and rub it in, and it's really nice to work with, and it's very low in odor, so it doesn't smell too much. And it's also pretty quick drying, so almost a coat will dry in one day, and you can add the next level. And this is my aim here. I want to put on a minimum of 20 coats and build up a really thick layer of poly to this body to give it a little bit of a deep gloss and a protection, which this body deserves, of course. Yes, and now I will flip the body and do, of course, the other side. And you don't have to be too careful, especially the first coats, because the wood is really soaking in the poly finish. Just take your time and rub it in. You can, of course, brush it on if you like, but I prefer this method. I have done it dozens of times, and I like just an old cotton t-shirt, and it works perfect for me. And of course, I'm doing the sides and taking my time to apply it carefully to the whole body. So I'm doing the back side. So really nothing special about rubbing in the Vibe on poly. It's a really easy to apply and very forgiving finish for the guitar. And it's really durable, so I like the aesthetics and the feel of it. And you can also buy it in satin or matte finish if you prefer a more natural feel and look. Okay, that's pretty much it for today's episode. I don't know exactly when the next episode will follow, but to feel free to comment if you like what you see, subscribe, share, and of course hit the bell button and you won't miss any further episodes in the future. Thank you for staying with me and feel free to comment what you would like to see next. Thank you very much and have a nice time. See you soon.